Hey guys, Jacob here. New Sounds and Old is the channel, and I'm coming to you from Denmark with a small lockdown haul. Now, Denmark has been under lockdown or on lockdown a couple of times now. The stores actually opened up on, I think, March 1st, and now we're into April. So, in general, most stores have been open for about a month. But during the lockdown period, I splurged and got a lot of albums online, and most of them I have not shown you yet. So I thought that I'd get started on a video here today to just to show you what I've been buying. A mixed bunch as always. I'm trying something different with the angle this time round. This is my little corner with some albums up on some shelves, and over here as well. Here's my turntable and my here it is, my amp and so on. Everyone in the VC seems to be very tidy, and everyone has everything set up so neat and tidy and clean and perfect. And I'm just mine videos are just the background's just always a big mess. And I thought that I'd try and make it just a little bit better this time around by facing the camera this way. I also got this little ring light where I can attach my phone to and get some more light into my bald head. And also into my glasses. So if you see these two round things here in my glasses, it's just the ring light in my face. My music room is a bit dark, and I thought that this light might help, and I have somewhere to hang up my phone. So a good stack of records here to show you. First off is this is, like I said, a batch that I got online on a seller that I've been buying from quite a bit actually recently. He's on Facebook only in Denmark. And one of the titles I saw that he put up is this Underworld Drift Series Sampler Edition. Drift Series 1 Sampler Edition. Now, Underworld, of course, the legendary UK dance techno band. Um, And during 2019, they, instead of focusing on albums, they just released a bunch of EPs online. And they collected it together in this, this is actually a reissue, but they collected it in this Drift Series 1 CD box set with, originally it was, I believe, 7 CDs. The first batch of these boxes released were sold pretty quickly. They And this was 2019. Then last year they put out this reissue of the CD box and actually put in another CD. So it's 8 CDs and a Blu-ray, I believe. And on vinyl they chose to do a sampler edition, which is this. The cover really isn't that good, but it's this double record here, gatefold cover. And it's just really great. It's just Underworld. Just with this Drift series, you kind of feel that they weren't forced to do like an album. They weren't forced to do anything. They were just, I think, jamming away if you can on computers, and just making up sounds and writing songs on the spot. And it just feels liberating. And they've just really taken it back to the rave days of the early '90s. And this is a stellar compilation. And if you want to delve, if you buy this and you like this, consider buying this CD and one Blu-ray box set here. It's just amazing. There are so many gems in here for you to discover. So Underworld is the first one I want to show you. The next one I got is this album here called Chris by French pop act Christine and the Queens. They've been pretty popular over here in Europe. I don't know how it is in the States. And the album before this kind of blasted them onto the scene. And then with this album, they just solidified that they are a pop act to watch out for. The hits on this one is the song called Girlfriend, which is the second song on side one, and then the song $5, second song on side two, or side B, if you will. Um, not much to see in the gatefold. Yeah, but Christina and the Queens, just a really cool modern pop band. This album here is the English version, so the lyrics and singing is in English. There's also a French version if you prefer that. But if you're into modern pop music, and not a lot of people are, at least here in the VC, but intelligent pop music, Christine and the Queens, and this is their album Chris from 2018. Next one is actually a compilation by the Danish musician Anders Trandemerla, and this is a compilation called Harbor Boat Trips Volume 2. There's also Volume 1, which I sadly don't have. This is out on the German label HFN, where Trandemerla is also signed to, I believe. This is from 2018. And this is just, I mean, the cover is all gray and he looks all gothy, and that's kind of the feel of the album. It features acts like A Place to Bury Strangers, The Ravenettes, John Mouse, Slowdive, Moon Duo, and then a lot of Danish acts. Of course, the Ravenettes are also Danish. Features, by, amongst others, the legendary 60s track by the band called The Lollipops, called Naked When You Come, which is just a stellar song. This is the inside of the gatefold here. And this is just a really, really cool compilation. It also features, by the way, Trandemerla's own cover of Neil Young's Transformer Man, which, if you don't know it, man, it's just stellar. So Anders Trandemerla, I picked up some of his albums also recently in a different haul. I will be showing them in one of the next videos to come. Moving on to an absolute classic, and something that I don't know why I never had this in my vinyl collection. I have a CD of it, but finally got it on vinyl. This is the Back to Black pressing of Marvin Gaye's What's Going On. According to the Rolling Stone magazine, recently voted, I believe, the best album of all time. 1971, it was released, of course, features What's Going On, Mercy Mercy Me, Holy Holy, Inner City Blues. Yeah, I mean, you all know this. Happy to include this in my vinyl collection also, in addition to the CD that I own. Just a stellar album. And yeah, kind of not in the vein of Marvin Gaye, but in this batch that I have to show you here, maybe a little bit. I got this 3-disc set called Disco Anthems, with 12-inch or remixed versions, extended versions rather, of some of the best disco songs ever made. You have the Jacksons, Shake Your Body, Earth, Wind and Fire, Boogie Wonderland, McFadden and Whitehead, Ain't No Stopping Us Now. There's Eruption, there's Cerrone, there's Andrea True Connection, there's Village People, there's Boney M. I mean, a lot of people don't like disco. I love disco. I'm a sucker for it. And this is just an amazing album. I want to start delving into DJing also, and this will be a big plus in my collection when it comes to me hopefully taking on DJing and being able to spin some old classics. That McFadden and Whitehead Ain't No Stopping Us Now 12-inch version here, extended version. Ah, man, that is just, I don't know, 8-9 minutes of pure gold. Next up in the stack of albums that I got online recently is the Back to Black reissue of Sonic Youth's 1990 album Goo. This is the album where I first discovered Sonic Youth. I must have been 13 going on 14 when this was released, and I remember seeing the video for Dirty Boots on MTV's 120 Minutes. That is I believe that is the first time I ever heard of Sonic Youth. I was very intrigued, and I At the local library, they had the cassette tape of this album, and I borrowed it, whatever you call that when you take stuff home from the library. I think it was a 3 week period that you could lend it or borrow it, and I did it over and over and over and over again. The first album I think I purchased from Sonic Youth was Dirty, that came out in 1992. But this is my introduction album to Sonic Youth. Of course, with Dirty Boots, there's Tunic Song for Karen, Cool Thing, My Friend Goo, Disappear, Mildred Pierce, Cinderella's Big Score. Yeah, seminal album when it comes to the alternative rock. And happy to get this. Obviously, I would be in the market for an original, but for now, I'm happy with this Back to Black reissue. Staying in the vein of sort of alternative rock music, I got this reissue of the Scottish band Mogwai and their album Sidan. This is, of course, the soundtrack to the documentary that was done on the French football player, and for you in the US, soccer, but French football player Zinedine Zidane, who was just one of the best that the game has ever seen. Mogwai did the soundtrack to the film, so it's called an original soundtrack by Mogwai, Zidane, a 21st century portrait. This is instrumental, as most of Mogwai's music is. Maybe there's one song with vocals, I don't recall. It says on the back side here that it's it is a double disc, but there's music on sides A, B, and C. But there's actually also some droney kind of music on side D that goes on for about 20-25 minutes. Yeah, really great soundtrack. Mogwai have done a bunch of soundtracks, and this is one of my favorites of their soundtrack albums. Yeah, happy to have this. And from soundtracky stuff to one album that is classical, modern classical. I also have this on CD, but this is the first time I ever have it on vinyl. This is German composer Max Richter and his album The Blue Notebooks, out on Deutsche Grammophon. 2004 was the original album, and this then also has some remixes on it and some later versions. And this compilation was done in 2018, this pressing here. Just a really beautiful matte finish cover. Very stylistic, very pretty inside of the gatefold. Max Richter, known for doing these neoclassical albums, known for also a lot of soundtracks. This is, like I said, one of his solo albums that is not for a soundtrack. It features the vocals, if you will, of Tilda Swinton, the actress who reads from the Blue Notebooks, I guess. The song to check out if you're interested in listening to this. The song to check out is the first song on side 2 of the album, called "On the Nature of Daylight." That will win you over, I'm sure. Very happy to have this on vinyl as well. And then finally, in this batch here, 3 jazz titles. The 1962 album from John Coltrane, Coltrane Plays the Blues, in a Rhino vinyl reissue. Happy to add another Coltrane album to my collection. Stellar album. I got this one, Sonny Rollins on Impulse, a reissue. This was 1965. This reissue released in 2019 on Impulse, as it says here on the sticker. So very happy to have this. Great album as well. And then finally, this, you may call this a guilty pleasure, but I adore this album. This is Tony Bennett and Lady Gaga with Cheek to Cheek. And of course, this is their duet album they did in 2014. And I love this type of crooner vocal jazz, and Tony Bennett is one of the best ever. And Lady Gaga um, to me, she's a phenomenal singer, and she's a very, very, very good jazz singer. I think that there has been talk about them maybe doing a follow-up album to this, but as I've heard, Tony Bennett is not feeling well. He's suffering from dementia, I believe. And but I really hope that they are able to do that. He is able to do or to take part in a follow-up to this album here. Has classics as Anything Goes, Cheek to Cheek, Lush Life, Sophisticated Lady, It Don't Mean a Thing If It Ain't Got That Swing, and yeah, it's just it's just an incredible album. Um, yeah, I very much enjoy Lady Gaga and her vocals as well. They played a concert in Denmark with this album here, and it was so expensive to go that I couldn't afford it. Basically, I really wanted to see them live. Lady Gaga then later on in the evening went out in town in Copenhagen and did an impromptu short gig with a couple of songs with some of the musicians playing with them on tour at a very, very small Copenhagen jazz club. And the people who were there, I think it's called La Fontaine, um, just loved it. There's a YouTube video, look out or look for or Google Lady Gaga live, jazz, Copenhagen, La Fontaine. She sings La Vie en Rose from Edith Piaf, and yeah, it just gets me every time. Anyways, that's the last one of this bunch, and I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you weren't too annoyed with the light in my face, and I hope that you can see the point of this angle here instead of the messy stuff that I always have as a background. And if not, well then, put. See ya.